It's time for us to take a look at the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. Let's see what the headlines are this morning. It's a political season and lots of comments. I believe that people will expect nothing less than all the drama that goes out there every day, especially at a time like this, to build up to conventions of political party as well as horse tradings in elections.
Gives you a sense that there are elections and then there are elections.
No, of course.
There are candidates and there are candidates.
And there are candidates. All right, let's begin with the Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint says, Tinubu opens up. Without me, Buhari won't be president. President admitted if he picked Pope as running mate, Nigerians won't vote him. Right? Buhari approached me to be his VP, and I surrendered my right to Oshibajo. Without God and me, Dapo won't be governor. We will vote rightly at convention. Governor Abiodun tells Tinubu. The APC name Sanwo-Olu, Ganduje, Ngige, others, convention committees, chairs. Right? All this on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. Now, Daily Times is next. Buhari wouldn't have become president if not for me. Tinubu boasts. That's what the Daily Times has there. Right? From there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. I brought Buhari out of political retirement, assisted him to emerge president. Tinubu is quoted as saying this. I went to Katsina to convince Buhari to contest after 3 defeats. Ashwaju is quoted as saying this. I nominated Oshibajo after Saraki. Others blocked me from taking VP slot. Tinubu is also quoted here. Northern governors planned consensus. Akeredolu, Tinubu, others insist on southern presidency. All this on the front page of the Punch newspaper. The Vanguard is next. 2023 polls, how I made Oshibajo VP in 2015. Tinubu is quoted as saying this, says he aborted Muslim ticket. Right? That's what Vanguard here has. Right? From there, let's go to the Guardian newspaper. APC presidential primary. Aspirants, stakeholders in last throw of the dice. Buhari will have his way, stakeholders say. And the APC governors root for colleague as candidate. Disagree on zoning. Team has been set up to dialogue with Tinubu to accept Oshibajo as consensus candidate, says presidency source. All right. Rotate power to south to retain presidency. Akeredolu warns APC. Lawan campaign organization names Ojikalo as DG. And Tinubu, I made Oshibajo VP without me. Buhari would have lost in 2015. That's what the Guardian here has, okay? Daily Trust is the next one, and he says, presidential ticket, 72 hours to APC primary, screening report not ready. We're on it. Yegun is said, the chairman of the committee is saying here, appeal committee yet to be constituted. No cause for alarm. Lawan, Yerima, and the Korocha are saying this. Okay, that's a Daily Trust. Okay, from there, let's go to the Daily Sun. APC governors meet on Buhari's successor. And set to take stand ahead of Monday presidential primary. Some vow to resist president's plans. Okay, that's what the Daily Sun has. Okay, from there, let's go to Leadership newspaper. Flag bearer, tension in APC as governor plots to oppose, or governors plot to oppose PMB's choice. That's a Leadership newspaper. Tension in APC as governors plot to oppose PMB's choice. All right. From there, let's go to Nigerian News Direct. APC presidential primary is the focus here. Delegates to vote candidates capable of solving power, economy, security, other challenges. Okay, all that on the front page of the News Direct. Of course, this will interest a lot of Nigerians as well. The Nation newspaper is next, and it says, Akeredolu, why APC must rotate power to retain power. Okay. Why APC must rotate power to retain power. This sounds like motivational speaking. Really interesting. Okay. And Tinubu visits Oyo Ogun, gets delegates backing. It's time to reward me, says ex-governor. Right? That's what the Nation says. Why APC must rotate power to retain power. I think I like the rhymes there. All right, Nigerian Tribune is next, and it says, rotate power to South to retain presidency. Akeredolu tells APC. All right, that's what the Nigerian Tribune has there, and several other writers. It's my turn, it is Yoruba's turn. Tinubu is quoted as saying this. All of this on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. This Nigeria is next. APC presidential ticket, go south or lose 2023 election. All right. Ondo Governor Akeredolu warns ruling party. Consensus deadlock persists in governor's camp. Okay. All this on the front page of this Nigeria. National economy is next now, and it says, restrictive trade policies threatening Nigeria's 2030 poverty reduction goals. That's the World Bank. That's from the World Bank. And from there, let's go to Business Day. Business Day says 100 days of Russia-Ukraine war, how Nigeria is paying for Russia-Ukraine war. That's what Business Day has there. Of course, a lot of impact there on not just Nigeria, but several African countries and even across the world from the effect of the impact of the fallout of the war between Russia and Ukraine. The National is next, and it says, Yemen truce to continue for another 2 months. UN envoy says civilian casualties have dropped significantly since April the 2nd ceasefire began. That's the National. Right, the Independent says Ukrainians look to long fight ahead after 100 days of brutal, bloody combat. Ukrainians look to a long fight ahead after 100 days of brutal, bloody combat. Now, these are all on the international scene, just for us to have an idea of what's going on across the world. Right? As time goes on, we certainly will be bringing you some of these so that we have a perspective of international happenings and goings on. All right. In all of these, Sam and Kemi, I wonder which of the stories that interest us here. Most of them are talking about, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and his stance on how things should go regarding the build-up to the primary elections.
Yeah, it's significant that he said that yesterday. There was a sort of swagger, a sort of a hint of the defiance about Asiwaju in Ogun State yesterday when he said that it was pivotal to the Buhari presidency. What he said was actually not new. The thing is that this is the first time he has come in public to say it. And some of us who know what happened are really fascinated by the fact that he has been so humble about this for the past 7-8 years, that he was pivotal to it. He said he went to Katsina. The story is that of a yeoman's job. It was, many people don't know. If the day the story will be told about how just because he wanted to change the logo, it would take a flight from Lagos, the logo of the APC. To change the logo, it would take a flight from Lagos to Kano, or take a flight from Lagos to Katsina or to Kaduna, just to change, to decide what a logo should be. Should it be the broom? Should it not be the broom? And some of it is, what is the name? What name shall we give to it? Is it going to be APC? Are we going to bring CPC, APC,
and all the other ones
together? It will have to travel and go to Kano. Let us debate this. And then it's not resolved, it comes to Lagos. He'll fly back again. You know, it was doing all of this even before people knew that there was something going on. It will hold meetings. It was a yeoman's job. That was even, those are laying down the foundation. The idea of even persuading Buhari to run again was another one. It was flying back and forth. People were resisting around Buhari. Don't run, don't do this, don't trust him, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, you know. So he did a lot of work. That is interesting that he has been very, very shall I say, very humble about it all this while.
Yeah.
Then he talked about the vice president, the vice president being nominated. And there was a story about
The
the
Muslim.
vice president, the Muslim
Ticket.
Muslim ticket. Because that was the agreement. Babakonde said it in his book.
Yeah.
Babakonde said it in his book. That look, the agreement was there. Buhari agreed. And then there are some people who really, in the party, who didn't really want him. These were part of the people who Tinubu walked out of PDP, the new PDP, NPDP. The NPDP itself, there were people when under Jonathan, they were fighting Jonathan, they had nowhere to go. It was Tinubu came and said, you guys come together. And there was a famous picture where he stood with them in Abuja. And they called them the new PDP. And that was a great coup about rebuilding the coalition that became the APC. Then, so when it was time to pick the vice president, and they said they didn't want him, then he said, okay, I'll give you names. He gave Oshibajo, he gave Wale Edun, and he gave Cardoso. And then it was a time to now decide. So Oshibajo was the one that was pushed for. So it's interesting that Oshibajo would not come forth to even say it. He said it was Aregbesola and Amosu that took him there.
Because there were so many narratives, and before Asiwaju Tinubu now came to make this stand. I mean, you've already posited brilliantly how these are facts that already on the front, already now in the public gallery. But for him to say it in a place as Ogun State, says a lot.
Your home, your home.
It's significant.
It says a lot. It says a lot. And what is also striking me as interesting is that the energy that Asiwaju Tinubu is known for in pushing for, people he feels are suited or suitable for positions is also the energy he's bringing to bear, if not more. Because some would have felt that the energy he's using now, going around nationally selling himself to everyone, wouldn't have been necessary. Because this is the man that the result he has, he has results to show for it, but yet he doesn't, disregard, the importance of being there physically to sell himself.
Yes.
These are really interesting, pointers for me.
Yes,
and,
I just wanted to say that,
right.
even the vice president himself said that it was Aregbesola and Amosu that took him to
meet with
Buhari
before he became president.
As I wrote in my column, what was the status of Aregbesola in the party at that time to say I'm taking somebody to him or Amosu? That I'm taking this man to you to be vice president if you are not sent. If you are not sent, why would he say that? So that is why I'm sure it came out. So there was a sense that look, people are saying all kinds of stories. This is about me. This is about what I did. So let me say it
By myself.
Let everybody know what happened, because everybody knows what happened. Everybody has a sense of what happened. When the victory was done, nobody disputed what happened. But when it came to party issues, came to individual ambitions, then people started coming out and saying, this is what happened, this is my own side of the story, and so on. So he said, okay, let me tell you, who was in the middle of it, who was the epicenter of the actions, let me tell you what happened. So that is what he did. And he was also saying another thing. He was saying that without being very boastful, he was indirectly saying that this is time for us to work together. In other words, I helped all of you, whether you are Fayemi, whether you are Oshibajo, whether you are the governor, Abiodun, who was now speaking from both sides of his mouth yesterday.
His response is
but I helped all of you together.
Yeah.
I helped all of you together. This time for you to also help me to get together, and you are all scattered, and you are all Yorubas. When the others are banding together and working together as one front, you at home are trying to play to type in history where you continue to develop Judases among yourselves, instead of you to come and walk together as one. No, I quoted one place in the Bible, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophet, when I should have gathered you under my wings, but you would not. I leave unto you your land desolate.
I've stopped taking count. I've stopped taking count of how often you use that particular passage. It seems to always come in handy.
Yeah, it comes in handy.
It comes in handy with the realities of what we have right now. Now, the point there is, at times like this, one would say, when you know, the passing of Asiwaju and people like that, they need to write a book to tell us, you know, some of the stories behind the intrigues, because if they don't say it, all right, now Baba Konde
did it, yes.
He did it, you know, and he gave us an idea into some of the things that happened, how it happened, who did what, and at what time, and all of that. One would expect that Asiwaju should write a book at the end of the day. Let us get to understand, you know, all of those things behind, you know, and so on. It's okay. Let's leave it here for now. We certainly.
There's another part of this story too about governors not coming together, and they are trying to. Are we going to see a situation where there's going to be a rebellion against the president when he picks it? You know that we had the same thing happen with Babangida, with SDP.
Yes.
When Abiola emerged, Babangida didn't want Abiola to emerge the candidate of SDP. He was military head of state. He failed. That very night, when Abiola emerged, he called IBB. He called IBB because I know people who were there at that moment. When he called, and I said it in my column, nobody else disputed. He called IBB at that moment. IBB did not pick his phone because IBB was shocked that Abiola emerged. Because there are sometimes when you have power and you don't have God. God will show you who owns the power.
That's it. The author